White Trash Hero, Flip Gordon here. Now, before I do this little intro, I just wanted to say I wish you nothing but the best of luck with your new podcast. All right. Now, be kind, be courteous, because I'm not the best at this, but I'm going to try my best. Hey, guys, please share and subscribe to Talkin' Trash Radio, as well as follow them on their Twitter account at Talk Trash Radio. Hope that works for you, man. Again, wishing you nothing but the best.
To me, a good storyline is like a fine steak. You have to let it marinate for a while to allow the final product to be enjoyable. Instead of doing slow building storylines and allowing the fans to figure things out on their own, WWE likes to spoon feed their fans, and to me that makes the fans feel like they are incompetent or not smart enough to figure things out on their own. If WWE did a long-term booking angle and allowed the fans to figure things out on their own, that would give them a little bit of wiggle room if something that they are booking does not quite fit or not quite working out, and allow creative to change it or tweak it on the fly. To me, that would see an upswing of positive feedback from fans on social media and not let storylines disappear like they never happened. Okay, I am one for making a statement to get your name out there, but once you created your statement and your buzz, then start building your brand and reputation off of the work of your product and not take shots at your competition. This is not the Monday Night War, no matter how many people wish it was. In today's wrestling world, hardcore fans do not have to tape trade or pick up magazines to get alternatives to WWE. YouTube and social media outlets have laid the groundwork to allow even the smallest independent wrestling promotion to get mainstream attention through the power of the internet. AEW has a roster that is not very deep with star power, so they could be concentrating on building new stars within the company, like a Luchasaurus singles run, or adding more depth to the women's roster, as well as using talent on a more consistent basis. And if AEW is truly behind wins and losses, then we could always be seeing a rotating door of the top 5 in men's, women's, and tag team divisions, because that's what will make new stars and keep AEW fresh and different. How many of you can relate to someone getting poisoned, or even fighting in an underground fight club? If you could relate to the latter one, you earned some cool points in my book. To me, an interesting storyline isn't something that comes out of a daytime television script. It's going back to the roots of professional wrestling. Why are you in wrestling? Because you want to be the best. How can you be the best? You be the best by winning titles. Nowhere does it say that you have to have a love triangle, people being run over by hooded figures in cars, or wrestlers being poisoned. Look, I get it. WWE sees itself as an entertainment business and not professional wrestling. Hell, even Luke Underground has done some batshit crazy things that I was like, what? All I'm saying is, the storyline could cater to all fans. If you want to spike ratings, you do not cater to one demographic. You have to sprinkle a little bit of everything for the casual viewer and the hardcore fan. You are not going to spike the ratings and see an insurgence of new viewers based off of word of mouth, especially with some of these angles on your television lately. A casual viewer will happen to tune in for the first time, and they'll see a bowling segment or a karaoke segment, and they'll be like, wait a minute, I thought I tuned into wrestling. While the hardcore fans, well, they'll read the recap for Raw and SmackDown from Dave Meltzer and other wrestling media outlets, and they'll be like, damn, that sucked. I'm glad I didn't watch that. You have to find a happy balance between the two. Maybe put your casual viewer segments for social media outlets and inject more wrestling time on the television, and give talent who are being underutilized more TV time. Okay, so I am not going to say don't do any flippy move, but I am going to say don't kill the move by doing 5 Canadian Destroyers in one show. Canadian Destroyer is a finisher, could not be used as a setup move. It seems like finishers have become a thing of the past. Nowadays, people would rather do a surprise roll-up or hit some random hotspot move to finish the match. Let me ask you a question. How many mid-card AEW wrestlers can you name their finisher to? Go on, I'll wait. See, that's the problem. Ring psychology went from telling a story in the ring and getting over a finisher to popping the crowd and the locker room in the back with hot spots and using random moves to finish the match. Look, I don't want to sound like the grumpy old guy here, but I am. But isn't part of building a new star the responsibility of the company to give them their own personality? What screams personality more than a protective finisher that they have in their back pocket that's marketed for their gimmick? Even if these mid-card talents only use their finishers on AEW Dark, at least they have that move in their back pocket. So if given the opportunity to be wrestling on AEW Dynamite on television, they can stand out from the mid-card pack by using that finisher. Let's play pretend. If I was booking WWE, I would change the format of Raw to this. Hour 1, recap of last week, and some strong mid-card matches to help get over talent who have not been able to get on television or get time. Hour 2, dedicated to 2 backstage segments / interviews, with the wrestling portion being strictly women's wrestling. Imagine if the women have a whole hour to get themselves over. You would have fresh new faces showcasing the women's division, instead of the same faces week after week. Hour 3 is dedicated to the top storylines of Raw. This hour would be built on your main feuds to get over for the pay-per-view. Imagine Hour 3 kicking off with a backstage brawl between Seth Rollins and Dominic Mysterio. Or you could have your workhorses of Raw put on a clinic for the US Championship and make that title relevant again. Basically, this hour is for building upper mid-carders for the future of the next level of stars, as well as keeping your champions on television and relevant by maybe doing scouting of their opponents, backstage interviews, or an on-location segment. To me, the champion could be seen, but not used every week in the ring. The reason is, he or she is your main attraction, and needs to feel special without sacrificing no on-air time. World champions should not be in tag team matches or random one-on-one matches based on a whim, and if this is done correctly, then imagine how special it would feel when they do wrestle on Raw, instead of just being there in presence. AEW is a new promotion that is only a year old. These are the times to showcase individual talent and not let new faces the casual fans may not know from their indie days and develop their persona. Dark Order, The Nightmare Family, Best Friends, Inner Circle, Jurassic Express, Death Triangle, SCU, The Elite. All these groups have at least 3 or more talent in them, while there are some established factions that are pre-built into AEW's birth, such as SCU, The Elite, and even the tag team Best Friends, minus Orange Cassidy. There are still 5 other groups that have been formed since AEW's conception. To me, in my opinion, Orange Cassidy, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Proud and Powerful, Scorpio Sky, among others, they're getting lost in their faction. All of these talents have the ability to stand alone and be stars in either singles or tag teams without any help. WWE, I'm going to make this very simple, quick, and to the point. Stop shaking the damn camera every time somebody's getting beat down. You're giving me motion sickness. Hold the camera straight. I'll buy you tripods if you need them. Stop. It's stupid looking, and it It's ineffective. Nobody wants to see that. They want to see what's going on. There have been times where AEW had a 4-man booth, and to me that's a little too much. Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone are your two major assets of your commentary booth, while Excalibur adds some really nice knowledge and know-how of what's going on in the ring and backstories. If AEW wants to use more commentators, then have two sets like WCW did back in the day. In Hour 1, have Tony Schiavone and Chris Jericho, and for Hour 2, have Jim Ross and Excalibur. To me, this will avoid people talking over one another and dead silence from someone who cannot get a word in edgewise. I know, the lack of big arenas and crowds can make it tough to make running inside a glorified warehouse an exciting environment. But you can make the environment fresh with a new raw canvas, different tape on the ropes, and maybe even new camera angles. Like for instance, following the wrestlers down the ring from behind on the ramp, or having a ref body cam footage, looking at the big move from a first person view. Let me go back when I talked about booking Raw. For the first hour, just add a regular Raw apron. Nothing special, just a regular generic Raw apron. For hour number 2, you could have a women's division apron. And for Raw 3, a more flashy Raw apron showcasing the upper talent. Now you can't put up a Titantron or have over 10,000 screaming fans, but you can make each hour feel more special in its own unique way. Is it 5 seconds to get out of a ring in a tag team match or 10 seconds? Can referees in the back come out and overrule something if the referee in the ring missed? And if so, why don't they do that more often? These are just some of the questions I have about AEW rules. To a casual wrestling fan, or a long-time wrestling fan, it is confusing to see a referee not disqualify someone for pushing them or counting to 10 to get someone out of the ring. AEW dropped the ball when they decided to go with the new hybrid wrestling rules. Before the first episode of Dynamite even aired, AEW could have had a sit-down interview with Tony Khan, Jim Ross, and maybe a few referees, and have a round table where Tony Khan can lay out the rules so we all understand them going into the first show. Get some clarity, AEW, because 2020 has already been hard enough for everyone. We don't need your murky rulebook to add to it. Well, that was my top 5 WWE and AEW pet peeves. I want to thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already done so, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everything that you guys have done. And as always, peace!